Thanasis Antetokounmpo is often considered one of the worst players in the NBA because sometimes it's not talent that keeps you on a team, it's your last name. Is Thanasis only in the NBA thanks to his brother Giannis, one of the best players in the league? Or is there something more to this family connection? Is Thanasis really such a bad player, or is it his connection to the Greek freak that keeps him in the NBA? Today we uncover the story behind one of the most talked about players in the league, the NBA player who's only on a team because of his brother, Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Why is Thanasis in the NBA? Despite having decent numbers in Greece, his 2-year contract with Milwaukee raised many eyebrows, until people realized that Giannis, his brother, was the star of the team. But how did this all begin? Is Giannis a good enough reason to keep him, or does he really have something to bring to the table? Athanasios Thanasis. Antetokounmpo was born on July 18, 1992, to a family of undocumented Nigerian immigrants seeking a better life in Greece. He was soon joined by his younger brothers, Giannis, Kostas, and Alex. The Antetokounmpo brothers had anything but an easy life. From a young age, they faced poverty, racism, and the constant threat of fleeing immigration authorities.
In 2004, when they had a total of 5 children, Veronica taught them to be able to survive on the streets, selling various types of souvenirs. From time to time, every time they had to run away from the immigration police.
Yet despite the harsh conditions, Thanasis and his family found happiness in the little they had. Their father, Charles, gave them a soccer ball to play with. But what was even more important was the lesson he taught them. Family always comes first. Maybe that's why Thanasis followed Giannis all the way to the Bucks. In Greece, soccer is king, but Thanasis and Giannis saw a unique opportunity in basketball. They started playing with local kids in the neighborhood. Despite not knowing the rules and starting later than most, they quickly stood out in games. Thanasis and Giannis began training in basketball, but anti-immigrant protests and police crackdowns made even walking the streets dangerous for them. Despite what most might think, Thanasis showed more potential early on than Giannis. Coaches and teammates saw the older brother as more polished, more skilled than the future MVP. Yet, Thanasis never stopped supporting Giannis. They shared a single pair of shoes for practice, and Thanasis pushed Giannis to keep improving, promising he'd always be there for him. While their father worked as a laborer and their mother as a caretaker, the brothers knew they had one mission: to lift their family out of poverty. Thanasis' hard work started paying off when he caught the attention of several Greek league teams, even earning his first paycheck, until it was revoked after the team found out he was an undocumented immigrant. With heavy hearts but the unwavering support of his family, Thanasis would join Philathletikos BC, a small team in Greece's second division, playing alongside his brother. He averaged 12.2 points, 4.9 rebounds, 1.0 assists, 1.1 steals, and 1.0 blocks per game, earning him a spot in the 2013 Greek All-Star game. Both he and Giannis caught the eye of scouts on that team, especially Agent Harry, who secured Giannis a place in the 2013 NBA draft. But Giannis had one request: Thanasis had to come with him, so both brothers declared for the draft. Thanasis pulled out the 2013 NBA draft, unsure if he'd be picked or if it was the right move for his career. Instead, he chose to develop his skills in the developmental league to improve his future prospects. Meanwhile, Giannis was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round, which reunited the family in the US and provided stability. Thanasis' decision to wait allowed him to gain experience and secure better long-term opportunities with NBA teams. As Giannis was shining as one of the best rookies in the NBA, Thanasis joined the D-League with the Delaware 87ers. There, he showcased his boundless energy, solid defensive play, and impressive athleticism. However, it became evident that his offensive skills were limited, hinting at the challenges he would face in carving out a lasting role in the NBA. After a solid season in the developmental league, averaging 12.0 points, 4.3 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 1.2 steals, and 1.3 blocks per game, Thanasis' big moment finally came. In the 2014 draft, Thanasis was selected by the New York Knicks in the 51st overall pick, but was assigned to the Westchester Knicks in the D-League for further development. He also played in the NBA Summer League before eventually signing with the Knicks. Despite his energy and relentless hustle in every second he was on the court, it wasn't enough to secure a spot. He struggled, labeled as a player who just didn't have NBA-level skills, playing only 2 games and scoring 6 points in 2 years with the Knicks. He was cut and sent back to Westchester, a huge setback. At this point, the difference between the brothers became clearer. The days when Thanasis was seen as the most promising Antetokounmpo had ended. Giannis had risen to superstar in the NBA, becoming a dominant scorer, defensive wall, and brilliant passer, undoubtedly the leader of his team at a young age.
Monroe, here's for the Bucks. Beautiful pass ahead. We'll see that over and over. Dellavedova finds Giannis on a touchdown route.
Meanwhile, Thanasis' potential was more limited, with his main strengths being energy and hustle. In 2016, while Thanasis was still in limbo, Giannis signed a $100 million contract extension, became an all-star starter, and won the NBA's Most Improved Player award.
Is another part of that. To sign Giannis to this rookie extension guarantees us 5 more years with him, and we couldn't be more excited about that.
By 2016, most people believed Thanasis' NBA career was over. He headed back to Europe playing with Morabank Andorra, but after just 1 season, he returned to where it all started, while his brother continued to shine, playing in his first NBA All-Star game and becoming the Bucks' franchise player. In 2017, Thanasis joined one of Greece's most dominant teams, Panathinaikos BC, where he quickly proved his experience and high level of play. Thanasis and his team won back-to-back Greek League championships in 2018 and 2019, with Thanasis being named the league's most spectacular player in his final year. Why was it successful? Was it such an easy league, or was it getting better? Rumors slowly began swirling. Thanasis might be making his way back to the NBA. 2 teams were interested, the Bucks and the Knicks. Coincidence? At the time, it was no secret that Giannis was having serious doubts about staying in Milwaukee. One of the Knicks' plays to lure Giannis was the chance to reunite him with his brother. But the Bucks, fearing the loss of their franchise player. The Bucks knew they risked losing their franchise player Giannis, so they had to act quickly, making a bold decision. They offered Thanasis a 2-year contract, ensuring that Giannis and his brother would reunite. And this reunion between the brothers sparked immediate debate. Many questioned whether Giannis was repaying a moral debt to his brother, suggesting that it was one of the clearest cases of nepotism in the NBA. Thanasis' arrival in the NBA reignited the debate. Does he really have the talent to be here, or is he only on the roster because of his brother's influence? Why is Thanasis considered one of the worst players in the NBA? When we break down Thanasis as a player, we see someone with elite athleticism and strength, standing at 6'6" and weighing around 219 pounds, physically built for the NBA. While these traits made him a standout in Greece, they're simply not enough to keep him at the highest level of basketball in the world. If we perform an autopsy on Thanasis' game, we find a troubling lack of offensive skills. It's not just that he has a below-average shot or a shaky jumper. He consistently struggles to create scoring opportunities for himself and often finds himself out of sync with the team's offensive flow. A stark contrast to his brother Giannis, one of the league's top scorers. So, if he's not contributing offensively, does that mean he's a lockdown defender? Not quite. Despite having the physical tools to be a great defender, his poor decision-making and frequent positional errors prevent him from excelling in that area. We often see Thanasis gamble on steals only to miss and leave his team exposed on defense. Beyond these weaknesses, the most concerning aspect is his basketball IQ, making careless mistakes and failing to read the game properly in key moments. Despite all these shortcomings, Thanasis continued to fight, determined to prove he wasn't just living in his brother's shadow. He wanted to carve out his own name in the NBA. Unlike his time with the Knicks, Thanasis came back with more experience after playing in Europe for several years. He knew from the start that he'd be a rotational player brought in mostly for the final 10 minutes of games. On the court, Thanasis brought incredible energy and commitment to both offense and defense. While his limitations were clear, his attitude and competitive spirit were infectious, especially for Giannis, who seemed to elevate his game when his brother was by his side. Now, calling him the worst player in the NBA might be a bit of a stretch. Thanasis has shown flashes of brilliance, like when he dropped a career-high 27 points in a game, or when he won one-on-one matchups, even beating Kevin Durant at one point. Clearly, he's not among the league's best, but his value has always been recognized by his coaches, teammates, and the Bucks fans, who have grown to love him over time.
Poked away. James blocked by Antetokounmpo.
But the truth is, Thanasis plays a role that no other NBA player can. And that's where our title comes into play. The NBA player that is only on a team because of his brother. In NBA history, there are always unique players whose value goes beyond just their stats. Take Udonis Haslem, for example, who spent years on the Heat as more of a motivator than an on-court contributor. This brings us to the special bond between Thanasis and Giannis, a brotherly connection unlike any other seen in the NBA. For Giannis, family has been the driving force behind his rise to NBA superstardom. From the struggles of poverty to where they are now, they've always had each other's backs. In interviews, it's clear just how important Thanasis is to his younger brother, and so Thanasis joining the Bucks wasn't just a coincidence. From day one, he's been all in, the first to celebrate, the first to support, and always there for Giannis. And Giannis, you can see him light up on the bench every time Thanasis scores, makes an assist, or throws down one of those dunks that surprise everyone. But being
and behind the back, little flash and dash, and Thanasis finishes it off. How about it? The reserve shining and getting
So right here, Beldoza, just a beautiful watch the flare of this pass. Goes left, right, behind the back, and then the nasty and one.
But being an emotional leader wasn't just about his brother. It's common to see Thanasis supporting all his teammates during tough moments of a game. His cheers and applause echo throughout the Fiserv Forum, earning him the reputation of being the Bucks' moral energy source. But is this enough to stay in the NBA? The truth is, if his name wasn't Thanasis Antetokounmpo, he would have been cut from any team by now. However, his case is different because his value to the Bucks isn't just about his play. It's about keeping one of the best players in the NBA, his brother. My brother Thanasis, I am who I am because of him. It's not even close. This guy is... If you could create the perfect brother, he's right up there, man, said Giannis. But that wasn't enough for those who believed Thanasis didn't deserve to be in the NBA. He became a target for criticism and mockery in the basketball world. Commentators, former players, and fans claimed it was unfair for Thanasis to have a spot on the team just because he was Giannis's brother. How is it that coaches and players lose their jobs with the Bucks, but this guy keeps his? And as long as your brother is Giannis Antetokounmpo, you've got a lifetime salary in the NBA. Some even accused him of being the reason Giannis hasn't signed with other teams, going as far as to say he was holding his brother back. Your brother takes up 2 roster spots. You know Giannis is probably never going to play for any other team but Milwaukee, and that's all thanks to you. And the mockery didn't stop. Memes and online jabs at Thanasis only grew. Former players and now commentators like Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal have fueled the debate with constant jokes about Thanasis' position on the Bucks, reflecting the widespread sentiment within the NBA among fans and the media that he's only there because he's Giannis' brother. However, Thanasis has always viewed these debates or criticisms as a compliment to his resilience and work ethic. He's made it clear that he's not a star nor one of the best players, but his hustle and energy that he brings to the team every night should never go unnoticed. Despite all the criticism, Thanasis has always remained focused on his team and supporting his brother Giannis. It's a situation that would be complicated for anyone, but Thanasis has stayed strong, and we've never seen him shaken or let any criticism damage the incredibly close bond he has with his brother. This speaks volumes about Thanasis' character. We've seen throughout history how envy between siblings has destroyed careers and worse, torn families apart. But that's not the case with the Antetokounmpos. The bond between these two brothers reached its pinnacle in 2021 when they won the NBA championship together. The Bucks entered the 2021 playoffs as the third seed in their conference. In the first round, they faced Jimmy Butler's Miami Heat, where the Bucks easily swept the series 4-0. In the semifinals, they battled the Brooklyn Nets, led by superstars Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. After a brutal 7-game series, the Bucks emerged victorious, 4-3, with the Antetokounmpo brothers playing their part. Next came the conference finals against Atlanta, but the Bucks hit a major roadblock. Giannis went down with an injury, leaving Chris Middleton to take the lead. Despite the setback, the Bucks beat the Hawks 4-2, earning their first trip to the NBA Finals in 50 years. They were on the brink of realizing their ultimate dream, a spot in the NBA Finals. Thanasis and Giannis were now just 4 wins away from their first NBA ring, but to get there, they would have to face the Phoenix Suns, led by Devin Booker and Chris Paul. After a hard-fought series, the Bucks triumphed 4-2, securing their second NBA championship since 1971, with Giannis being crowned Finals MVP. Even though his minutes were limited during the playoffs, Thanasis was vital for the team's spirit, especially in motivating Giannis to score 50 points in Game 6 of the series. Despite missing the first few games of the finals due to COVID-19, his return in the later games gave the team the energy boost they needed to lift their morale and push through. This would finally earn him recognition, not just for his defensive effort, or for always being the happy, positive guy on the Bucks bench, but also as the emotional support and morale boost the team needed to overcome adversity and ultimately win a championship after 50 years. There was no better way to close one of the most inspiring stories in basketball. The unbreakable bond between Thanasis and Giannis from childhood is what ultimately brought them to the pinnacle of the sport. That championship wasn't just about talent, it was the culmination of a lifetime of hard work, effort, and brotherhood. Thanasis may be infinitely overshadowed by his brother, but his support was key in shaping the Giannis Antetokounmpo we know today. Thanasis continues to find opportunities in the NBA, playing a crucial role in boosting the team's energy and character. Not long ago, he launched his own podcast called Thanasis, where he shares personal stories, insights into his relationship with his brother Giannis, and dives deeper into topics such as teamwork, leadership, and most importantly, the mental strength required to be a professional athlete. Through this platform, Thanasis offers a unique perspective on the mental and emotional aspects of basketball that often go unnoticed. So the final question remains, is Thanasis really just on the team because of his brother, or is there something more to this family connection? Thanasis will never be Giannis, and he never wanted to be. He's walked his own path, and despite the mockery and criticism, we've seen flashes of what he brings to the team as a player, and he's always fought to prove that he's more than just Giannis's brother. Every second, every minute he's on the court, he gives it his all. Like a true warrior and born competitor, setting examples for Giannis back when he didn't even know how to make a basket. Because the NBA isn't just about the superstars who take all the headlines, it's also about the players who live for teamwork, those who show unconditional support and dedication. And all of these qualities perfectly describe Thanasis Antetokounmpo. What do you think? Is it really just a brotherly favor, or is there something deeper that transcends their bond? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories from the world of basketball. See you next time.